sometimes violent, but always true to its
And we are live.
nature. For Honor, it's more than a game. It's a community of passionate people who discover a part of themselves in the warriors they choose, the new threats they face, and in the new friends they make. Fighting in a world that continues to expand.
I'm so excited. I know we're not getting a new hero for this season, but I'm so excited.
We are all champions of our own cause. And though we may never see eye to eye, all warriors have something in common. They challenge themselves, always learning and striving for the best. Not afraid to venture out into the unknown and thrive on the pressures of the battlefield. It is our honor to keep these battles alive. Whether you're fighting for peace, for war, or just for fun. Thank you for being a part of the journey. Thank you for sharing, for creating, and joining us along the way. The road is far from over. Here's to the next chapter.
Oh my gosh. Let's go! I'm so excited. Hopefully we get to see the Warden rework or change in Shinoki. I want to see that in action because I want to start playing Warden. Everything's gonna be good. This year, it's gonna be good. Maybe we get a tease on like at least what faction the heroes are gonna be from, or I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Warriors Den. Today, March 4th, we reveal Year 5, Season 1, Asunder amongst all of us. So, to my left or right is Clarissa Armada. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Really excited to give some more details about Year 5, Season 1. But how are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic, and as you guys know, if you missed it actually, it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, can't remember right now because we're pre-recorded just so that you guys know, but obviously we went into the high-level details of Year 5, Year of the Covenants, and today, 1 week from the start of Year 5, Season 1, we're going to go and dive into all of that nitty-gritty stuff for this season. Obviously, some surprises along the way that you guys will find out a little bit more for, title update 2, but today, we're going to lay it all down. We've got an event to cover. We've got a Warden refresh, all of this good stuff. So before we get into all of that, let's talk about Azarus. We started raffles last time we did a stream. So what can you tell the folks back at home about Azarus?
Yeah, just a quick reminder for viewers. Azarus is a Twitch extension on our stream where you answer questions based off of the show. And when you get those questions correct, you get credits called Ubies, which you can use to redeem for honor rewards such as XP, Boot, and Scavenger crates. So you can redeem all of those at forhonorgame.com/redeem. And also in the same extension, in specific times throughout the show, a drawing will occur to win rewards. This is the Azarus raffle that we just introduced in the previous stream. All you need to do is answer the same questions correct, and alongside Ubies, you get tickets, which will automatically enter you into the raffle. What's really nice about the raffle is that you get to see how many winners there are per drawing. If you are a winner, you do get notified, and you will get the code right away. And also, we do want to note that bots can't win, and the names are protected just for privacy's sake. So for today, we are giving away the following.
I thought we would
5,000 people will get one scavenger crate, and 50 people will receive 20k steel.
That's unreal, and yes, that was quite the adventure last time when everybody thought a bot was winning. So, anyways, let's get into some news before we get into the show. Of course, starting next week, it's going to be the month of March. So, let's get into certain things that are going to be happening this week and then heading into next week. So, starting off with the weekly quest. Let's take a look here. We've got the Illusionist of Tai-Ching. Which is obviously for marching fire owners. This is from March 4th until March 11th. If not, what else do we got here? We've got an Executioner challenge. You guys know the drill. Be the faction with the most executions performed. And this is from March 5th to March 8th. If not, we've got more stuff here. We've got... Waiting for the image to load on my side. Yes, a sale. So 30% off of outfits, ornaments, emotes, executions, mood effects, signatures, materials, and engravings. Pretty much everything. So that's from March 4th until March 11th. Pretty much everything. And then, finally,
even material
we've got some people to introduce that you guys saw last stream. We've got with us now when Max does the switch, Brian, Josh, and Matthew joining us for today's show. We're going to be doing some back and forth for today's segment. So, guys, first and foremost, how are you guys doing?
Doing well. Stoked to be back on the Warriors Den for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
I'm feeling super beefy today.
Excellent. I like that word, beefy.
Thanks for having us back, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it's an absolute pleasure. And guys, you will be seeing Brian, Josh, and Matthew a lot more, as we mentioned last stream. And like I just said, we're going to be basically sharing the host role today, which is going to be great. But I want to come back on a couple of things that we discussed briefly, Brian, for the community, which is, some new things that we're bringing in for year 5. So why don't you start us off?
Yeah. So, I mean, the big thing is that the community team is going to be bringing you more frequent Warriors Dens, as well as
every
a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're looking at also having some updates regularly on bug fixes and kind of showing the progress and the hard work that the dev team is making and making sure that the community is aware of all that work that goes into the game. As well as we've got some more community surveys planned. So for those of you who participated in the last survey, big thank you. The response was overwhelming, and we super appreciate the time and the passion that you put into those responses. And if you missed out on that one, don't worry, we're going to have more coming down the road. And just we're going to have more community streams. It's like some fashion shows where we'll take player submissions so you can show off your best look. So much better. And then we'll roast the good ones, we'll praise the bad ones, or the other way around.
Let's do it all.
Just have a good time and hang out there, and we'll have some prizes and stuff with those. And more info on that will come later in future dens. So yeah.
That's super exciting. That's great news, and some other great news that we want to share with you guys today.
All the live
and I'm gonna use this prop to show it off here. Look at this. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Starting next week, March 11th, and as you can see, Clarissa has a Tiandi. We are launching basically a figurine site where you guys get to customize the Warden, the Warmonger, the Kensei, the Raider, and the Tiandi. This is available for US and Canada only. That's something that I should mention from the beginning. But here you have the possibility to customize these characters, like the complete outfit. So that's the helmet, arms, chest, ornaments, colors, weapons.
I can make Uni Raider,
guard, blade, and hilt for the weapon. So it's all 3 pieces, and there's 3 different poses for each hero. So obviously there's also all of this this customization options. This is going to be launching next week. We also have different sizes for each statue. So what you're looking at here, I believe, is going to be a medium. So we have 5 different sizes. It's the mini, small, medium, large. We didn't go with the Starbucks like venti, grande type of stuff because we know that you guys are human beings and understand this stuff. And there's also one thing that's super cool about this is that you can also customize the base. So if you wanted to put like this thing right here, I don't know if you could read it, but it says you are a legendary warrior, or you are a warrior legendary. I can't believe I screwed up that quote.
That is
But anything that you want to put at the customizable base,
that's unreal.
That's all part of it. So the price range that we're talking about here is starting from 25 USD up until about 110 USD plus taxes, and so that depends on the sizes. So all of that and more on the website. Cool. So that starts March 11th. Wanted to talk about it because it's super cool. And yeah, guys, I don't know about you, but my father here, the Kensei, is my choice, of course.
Make your hero.
I don't know what you guys would choose.
Well, I obviously chose the. I was gonna say Kensei, but Tiandi.
I definitely want to get Ray.
I want a Tiandi. Can I have that one, please? No. Okay, never mind.
That's a no.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's a hard no.
Only if he screams his own name.
Which is the case.
If you get a Raider, we can trade.
Deal.
Just so I can.
Year 5, hopefully flushes out. Oh no,
it's the best.
We definitely got to clip that. We would definitely.
But anyways, guys. Big. So as we mentioned, we're going to be going back and forth today with this cast to lead different segments, and we've still got a very loaded show.
Yeah,
we've only done the introduction. You guys know Asunder. That's all you know right now. But we're actually going to come back with Elise, Andrew, and Yuri to do a full reveal of this season. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it off over here to this great trailer to introduce Year 5, Season 1, Asunder. We will be right back.
He's so...
What did you think would happen? For a brief moment, the leaders of Heathmore ceased their quarrel. Leaders who have lost the will to fight. It only takes a spark to start a rebellion.
To make things right.
To shepherd the strong, to punish the unworthy.
Don't let some mad tyrants play God with your lives.
To bear the mask of war.
The true meaning of courage.
They make amazing trailers. This is unreal how good it is. Every time. The artwork, it's always on point. Wow. That was amazing. And then these are finishers. Map update Forge, let's go! That's awesome. Wow, I'll take that. Narrative and battle
Ladies
pass.
and gentlemen, we are joined back now with 4 very special guests to talk about what you just saw. Year 5, Season 1, Asunder, and to do so, Monsieur Nicolas Bombré, Game Director, Elise Trin, Game Writer, Andrew Im, Art Director, Yuri Flammenbaum, Special Effects Artist. Guys, first and foremost, welcome to today's show. How are you?
Pretty good.
Great, Mike.
Great. I'm my best behavior.
Excellent, Yuri. That's what I need for Year 5, Season 1, Asunder, starting March 11th. So let's get right into it, guys. Obviously, we started off the show with a little bit of the housekeeping stuff.
But now we get
into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, Forge is getting a rework.
Let's start it off with you, Nico. Asunder.
That's awesome.
What can you tell us about this season, especially heading in for Year 5, Year of the Covenants, this brand new year? What can you tell us?
Well, this season 1 is going to be all about the Covenants, about discovering their different cultures, about discovering their rites of initiation, their visual identity. So it's going to be all about Chimera and Horkos and, figuring it all that out, those new Covenants. It's going to be a key component of the season and the year throughout. This season will be introducing some new customization elements that will carry those visual elements of both Covenants. We have new musical instruments that are coming that will have different spins based on whether you want to pick the Horkos instruments, the Chimera instruments. We have also new armors coming in and new weapons. There's also a little surprise that I don't want to spoil, but we're going to be introducing a new type of emote that I'm sure you're all going to enjoy. Yuri will tell us all about this in a few minutes. On the gameplay side, we still have a lot of things that are coming, and we're continuing to improve the meta, improve the balance of the roster, following our competitive first season.
Yeah, no, I'm
and so this year, this season, what you can expect is the Warden update, which is coming. We also have a feat update, an important one that is coming, and Steph and Jesse will tell you all about this. We also going to open the testing ground later in this season to introduce a bunch of new hero updates. We have Shugoki coming back after the first testing round. We have Aramusha coming with an extensive update, among others. Once again, Steph and Jesse will provide all the details in a few minutes. And last but not least, Ed will also present a new major update for the Forge map.
Correct as well. One thing that I want to mention is also the Horkos Masquerade event that is also upon us starting next week. So, Elise, speaking about the Horkos Masquerade that we'll get into later on, I know that it has a lot to do with what we'll be seeing at the beginning of this season, and a lot with this image that we're looking at, Asunder for Year 5, Season 1. Can you tell us, first of all, I have no clue what Asunder means, so please enlighten me.
So Asunder, it means like apart, basically. It's coming from the verb sunder, which means breaking into two pieces. So now we have a word that is torn asunder, right? We have those two new covenants. They've been fighting like over the past years after the Battle of the Eclipse to try to gain domination over the world, but obviously things are not settled yet. So now we are taking the time to tell you more about like their values, what they believe in, the characters that are involved in each of those covenants. For example, you have the Horkos on the right side of the picture with the wolf. So obviously they are still led by the warmongers. They are still about wolves feeding upon the sheep, trying to get rid of the weakest warriors of Heathmoor, or at least trying to enroll them and to feed on them. On the other side, you have the heart of Chimera. So heart is a fancy name to say like a mature deer, basically in medieval times. So now we have a heart that's basically about the sense of unity, of solidarity. Griffin is still there, and a few other characters that you may have recognized in the key art as well are there to defend those ideas that were once ago defended by the Lord Warden in the campaign. So we will have basically a season that's more or less in two parts. So one part will be more about the Horkos with the event, or the Horkos Masquerade, and some customization. And then the other part of the season will be a bit more focused on the Chimera, with some cool stuff happening for them too.
Excellent. And I know that what you just said really does play a factor in our next speaker's speech. So, Andrew, what can you tell us a little bit about, the customization and how it's going to develop for this season, but also maybe this year, and how it's different?
I just want more colors.
Talk about this year. We need to kind of revisit what happened previously. So we started year 4 with the hope. Hope for the peace, hope for the unity. Then we learned about new character Warmonger, who's not a big fan of peace. In fact, she brought the Horkos and slowly poisoning all. It came so sudden that no one was prepared, so the power of Horkos grew, and the old faction realized that we need to resist together.
They called Griffin.
Suddenly, our old friend Holden Cross returned as Griffin and led the Chimera Covenant to fight back. The years ended with the grand battle between the two covenants.
But swap it for feet.
Win?
I would like that.
Chimera won. But instead of giving you too much details on this last grand battle, we'll zoom into one specific place and specific scene.
Maybe not all the
There's
feats,
a carnival,
but like some.
It's a Horkos carnival. It's like a ritual to prove your faith as a Horkos. And you will be dancing with the blade and drink the blood of fallen ones. The mask will become part of your flesh. You will be reborn, and this is the new beginning. But yes, well, the part of the new armor version that everyone might be kind of questioning about. I was following all the comments on the Reddit and the social media, and then hope we respond. We read all, and then we try to respond as much as we can. And there's a new approach to create this, so soon to be revealed, or maybe we might slip something out soon.
Yes. I love that you're so good at this now, Andrew, teasing everyone.
I'll take it all.
I think people hate you for being this good at teasing stuff, so I'm just going to clarify that for the armor variations, it might not be coming right now. It'll come throughout the season, more specifically TU2. But let's come back on what you were talking about for the Horkos, because I think it's going to be impacting a lot of what we'll see in the Battle Pass. And on that, Yuri, I'd like you to expand on what your team worked on.
Man, we have a lot of stuff actually. So it's fun because this whole Carnival of Horkos allowed us to explore a very fun theme. So like there's so much going on, the creepiness, the trickery, everything that's involved with this event. We decided to play on this jester mask that we created a few variations of. So you have like these very different kind of interesting patterns that are just going on in the face, as well as the kaleidoscope effect on the ground, which are just evoking the chaotic nature of this festival. It's really fun because it's also the first time that we added a little bit of a dynamic hat. So if you have an emote that moves the head a lot, or an execution moves the head a lot, you'll see the little bells move around, and that was a very fun little touch that we did. So this really, I feel like this mask really evokes a nice level of creepiness that I think everybody will enjoy.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And just to say that, you know, it's probably going to make a little bit more sense when we get later on into the show with the Horkos Masquerade event, which will be discussed with Jigamy and yourself once again, Yuri. But please go ahead. I know that we have more stuff to show for the season as a whole.
Yeah, we have quite a few. So we have the execution as well, a puppeteer execution. So we wanted to continue with this whole playfulness of the carnival. And again, like, you know, puppeteers are usually fun. Everybody likes to watch a show. But we decided to imagine this in a Horkos scenario. So what's creepier than what you guys see on screen?
It's actually really
just absolutely horrifying. So I feel like we've actually achieved a very fun little result with this, and hopefully everybody will agree and enjoy this as well. And then lastly, something very, very special for everyone. We've been working on a paired emote so that everybody could actually do this with their teammates. So we have a chest bump emotes that, you know, you can just like connect with people. Clarissa, you're just leaving me hanging there. But yeah,
Frog, we can chest
what we're looking at over here is not just a timed like two people syncing it together. It's just if a player starts this emote, there will be a prompt for another player to accept it, and they'll do it together.
You don't even have to have
so it's a very fun, playful way for you to show your team spirit with teammates. Also, this will open the door for a lot of really cool, interesting things in the future, perhaps. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the animation team, the programmers. They worked super hard in making this happen, and I hope you guys enjoy it because it was just a pleasure working on it.
It's so awesome, and I know that this has been something that the players have been asking for quite some time.
Awesome.
So again, congratulations to everyone involved in making this happen. This is a great novelty for Year 5 Season 1. But to continue on the Battle Pass elements, Andrew, we haven't even spoken about the weapons. So let's, if you can, actually just kind of lay us out what the theme of the Battle Pass weapons are before we throw it to a video where people can watch it.
Of course. So basically, here's the mood board that was created for the Battle Pass weapons and all other visual assets. This season's Battle Pass weapon reveals the intention, the characteristic, and details about Horkos. Materials are painted with the flesh colors, and details of these weapons are somewhat overly decorated with the exotic shapes and objects. These weapons are seductive. It's distracting, but to distract what? Like as you can see it from the details, there will be skulls.
I mean,
you're gonna see it later, but there are skulls, sharp objects, the unpleasant and the hollow smiles, or the dark colors that are hidden underneath. It's almost trying to camouflage, so its true intention won't be revealed, just like what can be hidden under my sleeves.
Wait, what?
Oh, I got it. Damn, I made it two sleeves.
No way.
Did you get an actual sleeve, or is that fake?
I do not buy it, Andrew.
Wow. That's messed up.
God damn it.
It looks real.
What trickery.
I was like, dang. My man got two
sleeves. For the decoration part, the designs were inspired by the bit scary, which is subjective masks. And the detail engravings were inspired by Rococo art style, and there's a shamanistic design for the Vikings. Viking weapons, the Hanya or the demonic mask were used for the samurai weapons. Chinese traditional theatrical masks were good inspiration for the Wulin weapons.
Yeah, this is
and
like the first step.
and jester masks for
that's
the knights.
Coolest thing.
Like that was it.
That's phenomenal. Again, as you guys can see, so many things to unveil for you guys today, and there's still more coming out throughout the season.
Oh my gosh.
I want to thank you guys so much for your time, as per usual.
That was pretty cool.
We're gonna throw it to the video that's gonna showcase all of the Battle Pass weapons, as Andrew just described. But thank you again, guys. Year 5, Season 1, Asunder starts March 11th, and we'll be right back with Matt and Brian to discuss the Warden update. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Warden update. Let's go. So I guess Shigoki's coming later. The nerf.
Here we go. Here we go.
So, I mean, I thought it would be the. All right, here we go. Battle Pass weapons. I like the color. Dang. I like the red. Red and blue. Sick. Cool to see they're not just repeating the story, man. Yeah, it's they know what they're doing. Everything they're doing everything. There's always problems, but I mean they're trying. Just look at this. It's every time they always outdo themselves. It's awesome. Probably one of the best battle pass weapons. Easily. I like the feathers. That is so sick. We have a lot of videos today, guys. And the music, oh my gosh. The tunes. Yeah, I like the Samurai. Samurai is probably my favorite sets. Scorpion, how's it going? How's your day, man? These look so nice. The detail is crazy. I wonder who's going to be the armor. I love that Tiani. Yeah. I'll tell you, all the way. All the weapon sets. It's going to be a good season. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, this is the new but yeah, everything's like 30% off, so I'm telling you. Oh, here we go. Also, the secretly returning faction here said the same theme, all weapons. Yeah, I agree with you. So like getting semi leaves Vikings are having to get more. Yeah.
Welcome back, Warriors. So cool. We're here with the Year 5 Season 1 Asunder stream, and with us today are two members of the fight team, Steph and JC. How you guys doing?
Pretty good yourself.
Great, thank you.
We're doing okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. It's a pretty hype event, I think. And we have a certain night that we want to talk about. Steph, why do we want to talk about Warden today?
So Warden was one of our heroes that we had in our previous testing ground. We put Warden in there because Warden had quite a, let's say, broken kind of dual playstyle. That was all centered around back dodge, shoulder bash. It basically completely dictated the pace of the match. Enemy heroes didn't have tools to deal with it, So it wasn't a particularly healthy kind of dual way to be strong. On the other side, Warden's a bit too weak in group fights, Dominion type matches.
I don't miss the bottom left.
Has long recoveries, doesn't have a lot of branching opportunities after a lot of attacks.
We saw a little bit, but
basically we wanted to try to bring up
and I thought
the group fight potential and the killing potential, and bring down the stalling, piece dictating kind of style of duel.
Makes sense. I think that lines up with what we saw in the testing grounds there.
I'm doing
can we go
good.
through some of the
I'm
specific
excited.
changes, including the ones that we already did?
New season.
Yeah. So basically, we got a lot of feedback from the surveys and from like from a bunch of different sources on Warden testing grounds, and it was pretty well received by most of the community. So we're comfortable shipping Warden with the changes he had. So I'll do a quick recap of what they were. If you're interested in more, you can always go watch the VODs from the previous Warriors Den and look at the patch notes. But overall, the big changes are that we removed back dodge shoulder bash. As Stefan was saying, it makes a fight a little bit less static. So that's pretty good. Also, his shoulder bash chains from pretty much, well, actually every single one of his attacks except shoulder bash.
Wow.
So you can do heavy finisher into shoulder bash, zone attack into shoulder bash, all sorts of things. It really helps him.
Everything changes.
Yeah, control the fight a little bit more, get into it, to get more pressure, more mix-ups. So that's always welcome. His side heavy finishers are now unblockable, same as his top. And they also have slightly bigger hitboxes, so you're better off in group fights. You can target swap and hit other people around you. That's also very good. And last but not least, his zone attack recovery is much smaller. It lets you be able to do a zone attack and not have to always commit to doing a heavy finisher afterwards or shoulder bash now. So that you can actually just use zone attack as a way to keep enemies off you and do like interesting things there. So with those changes that we put in, we also added a couple things from a lot of the feedback that we got. Also, there was a few things that needed tweaking. So, like for example, one of the things we're tweaking is the side heavy finisher damage has been reduced. It was a bit too high, especially compared to what the top heavy finisher does. So with the side doing a little bit less, it works a bit better. It's the side heavy finishers are also now dodgeable after a top heavy opener. That was a bit of a bug that we had, where you couldn't really dodge it. Like you could, but you had to dodge it super late, so that was a bit problematic. So that's fixed.
We'll find out, though.
Zone attack is also now dodgeable, which, again, was a little bug that we had in the build. So now this works. Like, you can actually dodge it fully, and there's no problem there. And last but not least, we're replacing Thick Blood with Thrilling Comeback. So, Stefan, you have anything to say about this?
Yes, because that is a new feed.
Yes, of course.
Always.
I mean, like, internally on the dev team, Thick Blood is, if not our most hated, is quite near the top of our most hated feats.
Really nice.
In terms of the players' survey feedback that we saw from the previous testing grounds, it seems to be also an enemy of the people, which is cool.
I know. We'll see it now.
And the particular problems that we have here are like, in terms of the survey, like the results would be, how can Warden with Thick Blood Warden exist at the same time that like PK and Nobu are trying to be buffed, with Warden straight up deleting their ability to bleed or get to their, in PK's case, new options. So yes, we agree that does suck. We don't want a super feast or famine character like,
I want to know what Thrilling Comeback is.
So what we're trying to do is keep some of the defensive passive benefits that you get from this tier 2 passive, while actually kind of evening out against the cast and giving you a smaller benefit in more global states, basically.
So as a warden that like kind of struggles with Nobushi, I think I've just relied on Thick Blood for a long time to just like solve that problem for me. So I feel like you're coming at me personally, like you're telling me I need to get good.
Yeah, well,
so
already has on
you know, with Thick Blood going away, like what are you giving me?
I just
like, what's this thrilling comeback?
Yeah, so
anything.
Thrilling comeback from situations. No, basically, what it does is that it replaces Thick Blood entirely. So Thick Blood used to make you immune to bleed and fire damage. So like Steph said, like it was a problem because you literally denied Nobushi, PK, and Shaman a lot of their kits. So instead, we're replacing it with Thrilling Comeback, which
Heals you when you activate Revenge. So it's still a passive, but it has a much more universal use. And it also helps. Basically, normally you pop Revenge while you're getting ganked. You're getting like in a group fight, and you've already lost a bit of health. So be able to heal yourself while you activate Revenge is a much more potent
I'll take that
thing, and it's much more universal, right? It's always going to be useful.
I wonder who else
Thick Blood was either just overpowered or did close to nothing. So this is a much better situation. I think it fits way better, and it really helps in all those crazy situations that we described.
It sounds like it's a little bit more skilled too.
Yeah,
like because it's based around Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool.
Thanks for walking us through that, guys. I just looking at that list, I think it was a lot of what people were saying, so that's really cool to see.
Lots of videos
talking
today.
Of testing grounds for year 5. What are our thoughts on where testing grounds is headed?
So for us, I mean, this is a really fantastic tool. We get to put up our hero changes a bit early. We get to find, the little pieces that are either wrong with it or we didn't quite expect, and we get to have that player participation element where they play it. We see what they're doing in the game and on social media. Then they fill out their surveys, and we really get to say, okay, based on what we did, based on their feedback, based on what we analyzed on that, based on their feedback again, and then we either get to, push them live if that's the answer, as it was in PK Nobushi, or in Warden's case, make some changes to Thick Blood, for example, and some of the small things in the kit before pushing it live. Or even delaying it even further. For us, amazing tool. We want to lean in this as much as we can.
Well, this is good.
And JC, I think we have a little bit of a reveal here coming up.
Yeah, so one of the things we want to do in year 5 for testing grounds is we're aiming to have more frequent testing grounds, so we can test out more of these changes more often. And as Nico announced a bit earlier, we have one coming up in the year 5 season 1. Is going to be coming up right after the event that starts when the season starts, as he announced, we have Shigoki and Aramusha in the testing grounds, but there's also other characters. So we have a little family picture
how's
here.
It going, man?
Yeah, so that's it. So we have Shigoki and Aramusha, but on top of that, we also have Jiangjun, Berserker, Zanhu, Hitukiri, and Gladiator. So a lot of these have pretty good, pretty large changes, make them more viable. That's our goal, and make them more playable in a lot of situations. So that's super exciting. We hope that you'll join us again soon when we go into more detail as to what their changes are.
Wow.
Should be happening a little bit before the testing grounds. And yeah, so it's super exciting. 7 heroes is a lot of stuff. It's super dense. It's a lot of changes.
Feels like season 5.
But it's for the best. I think we're going to end up in a much better situation with these guys. So that should be really interesting.
Comeback,
so yeah, more. That's more or less what it is. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it, and we'll see you later.
Heal. I don't know how much.
That's awesome. Steph and JC, thank you so much for dropping by. Stay tuned, Warriors, for more info on that upcoming testing grounds. And I believe next up is a segment on maps. We'll be right back with that.
So that's pretty cool. Thick Blood, sense. It's not overpowered, but I don't know. I always like Thick Blood. But throw on comeback. But they did say something about a feat update, so maybe we'll get more. Why is glad he already got this guy? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, those 7 heroes came out of nowhere. He only said Shigoki and Aramusha.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show.
I had no idea.
And joining us today to talk about a map rework for Year 5 Season 1 of Asunder is Edgar Orlando Oliva. Thank you for joining us.
Season, and I thought it was okay.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's always great to be here to talk about what the map team has been up to.
Here we go.
Speaking of which, I just want to say that, first of all, it was great to see the community reception to the Beachhead rework that we put out a little while ago. Amazing. And I'm really happy to see that people are really enjoying that rework. And, we really put our heart and souls into that. So here we are to talk about Forge, another map that,
I know.
needs a bit of love as well.
It's a theme.
Right. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is actually a second part of a rework that, for some changes that went out a while ago. So what can you tell us about these new changes that are coming?
I don't know.
Yeah, so for the people who had played the Tales of the Resistance Part 3, and they, it took place in the Forge map, and there was a bit of speculation that Forge might, be seeing some reworks. And yeah, so last patch we put out the Part 1 version of that, which we widened the bridge, we kind of made the Foundry, Capture Point C, a little more open to make it comfortable to fight in. And I think players have really been enjoying that. And here we are now with Part 2 of the rework, since Forge needed a little bit more work than that. So let's take a look at the new changes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so here you guys will see Capture Zone A, where the water wheel is. You have that staircase on the right-hand side there that serves as the transition between the Capture Zone and mid lane. And that transition was way too quick. It was like almost instant, between rotating between one area and the other. And it was too easy to intercept players that were either going directly to the main lane. So, we kind of needed to, balance things out a little bit better. Wow. So what we did here is we created this new stairs structure around the Capture Zone. And this really works in many different ways as it helps lengthen that distance a little bit between the Capture Zone and the main lane area, but it also helps occlude players that are either going directly to the main lane from visibility on those players that are on the Capture Zone. So you'll see once you actually play in the map that the visibility is a little more restricted, and we kind of needed that, as I mentioned, because it was far too easy to intercept players that were trying to go to either one area or the other.
Right. Yeah, no, it looks really awesome. So with the changes coming, how differently do you think players will need to adjust their movements to actually utilize this change efficiently?
Yeah, so and this works really well for both attackers coming in from spawn, because now they have way more options to get into their home point. And it also helps defenders that are coming in as well.
Is it just
because so you won't be as easily blocked at a single staircase anymore. I think movement around that Capture Zone area is gonna be quite different now, and it's gonna work a lot better in the map's favor.
I know, that's awesome. Yeah, it'll definitely give players a little bit more options for like rotations and things like that. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to try this out myself.
Yeah, so here we can take a look at the next area, which was changed, the central building, and this serves as the midpoint in between both Capture Zones A and C. And here we had this, everything was funneled to come out onto this balcony area, which, was a little underutilized. It wasn't as important to the whole flow of the map. So what we did here is we opened up entrance into here from the main lane, so that now players can either choose to go to either a Capture Zone or to the main lane. Here we can see Griffin, who would have been forced to go directly to the Capture Zone, here now deciding to go to the main lane area instead. And if he so chooses, he has another access point into the Capture Zone, which would take him in from a different vantage point.
Yeah, speaking as someone who's played on this map, I think it felt like when you went into that long corridor, you were in that long corridor, right?
Yeah.
Now it seems like there's more flanking opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So, we all play For Honor, and we know how, just in the very nature of the game, you can get this sort of tunnel vision. And this map was almost exacerbating that issue, because it was literally a tunnel that would funnel you from Capture Zone A to C and vice versa without letting you make another option or tactical choice there. So now we give this to the player, and again, they have freedom to choose where they might want to go instead. I think that really opens up the flow of the map a lot more now.
I always hated.
And speaking of this tunnel, I'm noticing I can see it a lot better. So is there something you can explain about what I'm seeing right now?
Yeah, so people might have noticed a bit of a lighting change in the before and after shot. So here we see the before shot, and it's quite dark. And we also have, this is the Ashfeld lighting location, by the way. And here now we completely changed the time of day, which is now daytime. And, you know, this map has an insane amount of detail in it, whether, you know, it has that industrial vibe to it. And, you know, we have all that grime and dust and all these different textures on the floors and the walls. And we have all these different sorts of props that, you know, just a machinery. There's also a lot of animated objects in this map, as I'm sure many people already know.
Big hammers.
Yeah, including those hammers.
Yeah.
And so by, you know, we really wanted to bring out those elements now into the map that you could really appreciate the different textures. I mean, sure, it's not on as vibrant as a Temple Garden, but there's still that insane amount of detail that this new lighting now showcases.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, no, the lighting changes look really, really good. I'm excited to kind of see the map in its full glory. So again, Ed, thank you for showing us these new changes that are coming to Forge, and everyone will get to try it when Asunder launches on March 11th. And yeah, we will be back with Mike and Clarissa to talk about the new event, the Horkos Masquerade.
Ooh. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
So I guess
know why you're here. Now is the time to prove yourselves. We, the Order of Horkos, will purge the weak, so only the strong survive. Fight like a wolf, or die like a sheep.
Alright, that was pretty sick. That was actually really nice. So I guess whoever has glowing eyes, you have I think it was double damage. And then if you kill that, you get the I guess like the power boost, which is pretty cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw, a fantastic trailer to talk about the Horkos Masquerade. A huge shout out to Phil who worked on that for the first time. But there's not only one first time here. Jérémy Scrère Laframboise joins us for the first time on the Warriors Den alongside Yuri. Old news, Yuri. How are you today, Jérémy?
Hello, I'm feeling great. Thank you for the invite, Mike and Clarissa. Super excited to be here. That being said, I must say that I'm not necessarily impressed by who you pair me with, but on that.
It's the downward spiral of Yuri. It's fine.
Yuri, we love you. Ladies and gentlemen, Horkos Masquerade. Jérémy, I want to start from the beginning here. We've got a beautiful key art that we're going to post up here to start the presentation. But we also have the narrative that I want Clarissa to read out just to set the mood. How about that? Let's do that.
Perfect. All right, here we go. Those determined to honor Apollyon's legacy and to create a new order ruled by the most deserving warriors of Heathmore often pledge their alliance to Horkos. Among the various initiation rites that would allow someone to join the order, the Masquerade would pit a promising challenger against other warriors in a deadly battle. Only the survivors would be accepted in the order. It was a way to keep the strongest in their rightful place while bringing new recruits into Horkos.
Geez, so we're talking a little bit about some darkness over here. Horkos, we discussed it at the top of the show that to start off this season, we're getting into really what Horkos means. So, Jérémy, if you can, let's get into the details of this event. What can you tell us about the Horkos Masquerade?
Yes, so for this Horkos Masquerade, we wanted to bring a new game mode. We wanted to start with a popular one, the one that had a huge success in the past, and add a major twist to it, so that it will affect the way it's played, but also the strategy that you're going to have during that game mode. So first we start with Carousel of Death. It's a game mode that you already know. It's super chaotic. It's non-stop action. It's really exciting. And for those of you who don't necessarily remember, the basis of that was a 4v4 PvP game. It's a best of 5 round who wins the game. And to win the game, you need to kill all the opponent enemy at the same time. So that's the challenge. But every time you get killed, you have the respawn time before you can go back into the game gets longer and longer, so it's 5 seconds more every time. Now, what's the big change for Horkos, for the Carousel of Horkos, is that we're going to bring a powerful neutral boss, let's call him the Horkos Challenger, into the middle of all that chaos, to bring an extra layer and to change a bit the strategy that the players are going to have. So that Horkos Challenger, of course, will have a very good amount of HP, so he's going to be hard to kill, but also he will inflict fire damage to whoever is in the map. So his goal is really to kill everyone in the map, and he will have that fire damage. Now, the cool part of it is that if you succeed to kill that Horkos Challenger, you will gain that fire damage buff for you, but also for all your teammates on your team. So after that, it's not only the ones who are alive. Even though if you're dead, you will still have the fire damage buff. And even if you die during that round, when you're going to respawn, you will still have that buff. Now, obviously, it's a game changer. To succeed to kill the Horkos Challenger, it will give you a strong advantage, but it's not impossible to come back from it. It's very possible to come back against a buff team, and it's for living it a few times during the play session, it's super satisfying. So really try it. After that, the only situation where I would feel that it might be impossible to come back from it is if you're in UV team. Then maybe you're better to get.
Jeremy, you are at home at the Warriors then. Yeah, but this is great because I'm sure this sets up for some great comeback stories, but also looking at some of the gameplay here and the setting in the pit. Obviously, a lot of work has gone into this to make it very Horkos-ish, if I could say so. So what can you tell us a little bit about the map?
Just how amazing it
is. So the idea was really to convey the feeling that the Horkos have taken over the Viking arena. That's where the Masquerade is happening. You will see the structures, the statues have been vandalized a lot, and it really shows the chaotic nature of the Horkos. After that, all the symbols of the stag that were in the map are been burned or defaced. You will see them all around the map. It has been destroyed. And really the dark mood of the Masquerade is emphasized by all this crowd wearing some weird mask. Really, Andrew and his team went crazy on them. So that emphasized a bit that feeling. We have some lighting candles and some fireworks also. So the feeling was really to have a dark carnival and that you fight into this feeling, basically. And you can even see the Astria is there. Yeah. Also judging a bit the fight that is happening with her pet, a wolf, because why not?
Yeah, of course, on brand for Astria, who looks like a very cheery fellow in real life. So I don't know if you guys saw. I'll keep the Easter egg, but one of the shots has a returning character from, I believe, Year 4, Season 1 during the Hope season. So take a look again in the footage. It's hilarious. Just go to the bathroom. I don't know who it is. That being said, there's also, given the fact that this is just within the game mode itself, I know that because we're in this period for this event, that there will be some changes to the minions, or I should say the soldiers. That is the correct term for this period of the event.
Yes, exactly. So again, during that game mode, we won't have any minions in that specific game mode, but for the Dominion game, for the Breach game, you will have some customized minions.
I like it.
The idea was really to still be in the thematic of the Dark Carnival, so it's a question of life and death. And we have 3 different visuals. We have the Jester.
I'm excited.
It's kind of an entertainer, but with a scary vibe, the one we see now at the screen. So we have also the Oni, which is more a demonic look, I would say. And we have the skull one, which is more a shamanistic look. And really the feeling was that we shouldn't trust those guys. They are clearly hiding something. It's not clear, but that's the feeling we wanted to convey with them.
Yeah, and again, when we talked about the battle pass with Yuri at the beginning, it's starting to make sense a little bit about this theme and what it's revolving around in the Horkos Masquerade. A reminder that this is from March 11th until April 1st to start off Year 5, Season 1, Asunder. So moving into more of the in-game realization here, Jeremy, I know that there's usually work that's done. What can you tell us about the menus and all that great stuff?
Screen? Are you
yeah, so like usual, we customize the menu during the event. We know that during the game mode it's gonna be like super intense, but we wanted to already feel it in the menu. So the way we did it was like with this reddish tint that you can see. We can already feel the tension that is in the air. There's some firework, and you're close to the arena. So if you look a bit over your shoulder, you can see something is happening behind. Like the chaos is already there. So that's what we can feel there.
The menu screens
After
are
that,
always sick.
if we go into the progression. You will have the family portrait after, so you're a bit closer to the action. There's some sparkles in the air, and something is about to happen. You can really feel that. And then finally, you will have we will have also the warm-up, of course. So there, like you said, the Horkos have settled down a bit in the arena, in the Viking arena. So that's where the action takes place. You see some fireworks, and also that's really where the action is happening during that season, and you can clearly identify it right away from the warm-up.
That's awesome. And it wouldn't be an event without some rewards. So to talk about that, we have Yuri. I know you've been the butt end of a couple of jokes, but seriously, what can you tell us about what's going on for this event?
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to like rebuttal any of those attacks.
No, we never let you. We never let you.
You don't like the menu screen?
It's fine. I dish as much as I receive, so it's okay.
I like it. I think it looks pretty cool.
Honestly, we wanted
all the other menu screens.
to invoke some chimera into this Horkos-sided event. So that if ever you feel like it's a little too one-sided, like you can sport like some really wonderful effects here. So what it is essentially it's just like a signal of like what the chimera are. Like each character has an assigned animal to represent who they are. So we decided to unite them all in a wheel that will just basically show all of your spirit animals just floating around you. So we also used a very fun color scheme as well to give a little bit more hope with the nice golden colors, and hopefully everybody will enjoy that. So that's what we had for the effects. For the battle outfits, we went a little bit more with some geometric patterns, with a little bit more. Like again, off-brand colors from what we're seeing in the event, just so that we can have a little bit of a contrast. So it creates a very nice little detail, and that's pretty much what we have.
And then lastly, we also have the weapons that come with this. You see a couple of them in this video here that we're rolling, but what can you tell us a little bit about the theme? And we've got a video that we're going to showcase all of them, so don't worry. But what can you tell us just to give a little bit of that background?
Yeah, so we wanted to again go with the whole Asunder situation, so having a bit of a other side of the coin that we have. So the first part with what we've seen before in the show was very Horkos oriented with like very tight geometric patterns and things like that. For this part, we decided to go more with the spirit animals that I mentioned just before with the effect. So what's cool is that we've actually really implemented the animals throughout the weapon, so they're very carefully hidden, so you can see which animal is part of which character. So it's a very nice little wink to it. Hopefully everybody enjoys that.
Phenomenal. And we'll obviously show that video. I just want to take the time to say thank you, Jeremy, an absolute natural for the first time on the Warriors Den.
Yuri, we'll play.
Yuri, you know how we feel about you. But guys, thank you so much. Right after the weapons video for the Horkos Masquerade. Sorry, Jeremy.
Just before we go, I just want to say a great shout out and a great thanks and congrats to the whole team, because I'm here to present their work, but I basically did nothing of that. So really good job to the team. I'm sure you will enjoy it. And awesome. Stay tuned, because we're already working on some other amazing content. So stay tuned.
Bravo. Yeah. That was excellent. And again, this is a tale of maybe two stories, as you guys could see, Asunder splitting into two parts. So maybe there's another event that's gonna happen. I don't know.
Like I don't
know. I do know. Anyways, guys, thank you again. Cool. Year 5, Season 1, Asunder, Horkos Masquerade. This is March 11th till April 1st. If you want to call it. And without further ado, we'll go to the weapons of this event, and then we'll be back to wrap up today's show with Brian, Matt, and Josh. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
more weapons. Not the new hero buffs. Warden, but I'll get into that after this. I'll read the comments. That Raider. Oh man, that looks good. Oh, look at Highlanders. That's sick. Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, I just wanted I didn't want to talk during that just so I could get the full clip of me not saying anything. But no hero buffs. Yeah, Warden's getting the buff, and then you have Testing Grounds coming after the limited time event, and that's featuring like 7. You have,
and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Brian, Josh,
that.
and Matt to end off today's show. Wow, a lot of stuff that we discussed. How you guys feeling right now?
Hida, Hidakiri,
feeling real good.
Armusha, yeah, there's quite a few. It was unreal.
I like it. That's the greatest way to describe this show and ourselves. So we're still not done. Sorry, you guys probably saw that we've been showing some content of the week for March 4th, which is today. But we also want to showcase some of the stuff that's coming for the start of Year 5, Season 1, Asunder, March 11th. So Josh, can you start us off here?
So what we are looking at now is an illustrious outfit that is coming out called the Horkos Aspirant. You can see Tiandi here rocking it, looking absolutely menacing with those eyes. I'm going to have nightmares now.
20,000.
Yeah. It looks super sick, super menacing. Also, you can see Armusha here using it while emoting, dancing, vibing, all that good stuff. And you can also use it with an execution, as you can see here. Stabby.
They didn't last time. I don't think they will.
Incredible. What else do we got here, Matt?
The mask looks sick.
For 10,000 steel, we have the Feast Upon the Weak execution. If you're tabbed out, you might want to tab back in right now because a man is being eaten by birds.
Oh my gosh.
There it goes.
I'll take that. It actually looks.
It's quite literal.
10,000.
So great work on that. And then lastly, Brian, this one's a.
We got 4 instrumental sync emotes for you.
Like 7.
Yeah, we've got the Chimera music box. We got the Chimera Zither, and shout out to Nusha for that quad and core strength. She doesn't skip leg day. Yeah. We've got the Horkos violin, and then my personal favorite, the Horkos bagpipe. Oh yes, and you can get that or any of them for 7K steel.
Oh, thank you, Sean Connery.
That is so funny.
That being said, guys,
awesome.
That's not all. We also have one last thing.
Clarissa. They're real quick. They're a cannon. So they work like the season 1 instruments. So
yes, correct. That's a very good point. Again, we demonstrated that live in year 4, season 1. If you guys don't remember, but that was a great canon live. So Clarissa, the last thing that we have for March 11th for our Battle Pass.
Yes, so we're introducing a new fest, which is the Battle Pass Fest. This is similar to our XP Fest, but with the Battle Pass Points Fest, you get 2 times more the Battle Pass points at the end of every match on all completed orders and contracts. Now, this will be available starting at the beginning of the season,
That's
March
cool. They never had a Battle Pass
and it will
Points
go
Fest
on
before.
until March 15th.
That's just
phenomenal.
Gonna, help you guys
as Battle Pass owners, you guys want to make sure that you use that up to get as much as far as you can in your Battle Pass. So that's great. And then lastly, guys, of course, year 5, season 1, Asunder. This is a brand new year for Year of the Covenants and a brand new season. And just to come back on some of the stuff that we were talking about at the top of the show, you guys are going to be seeing Brian, Josh, and Matt quite a bit more. Brian, what can you tell us about that?
I mean, yeah, we're just the community team's going to be bringing you a lot more dens. So get used to seeing us.
Let me know
if we're not going anywhere. So if you don't like it, too bad.
Going to be doing more
and we'll have more dates on that.
I can live stream. They're live stream. We can just
soon,
hang out. Let me know if you guys want. And start doing that. Because they used to do that every Thursday. And I miss
guys,
that so
it's been
much.
a hell of a show. We want to thank everyone that's been watching from start to finish. And if you're watching late, thank you as well.
And I always enjoy it.
Want to shout out a couple of the things, the Twitter page, the Instagram page, all of that good stuff. If you're not following the For Honor channels, please do. And then lastly, for Matt, for Josh, for Brian, for Clarissa, and for myself,
everyone.
Year 5.
It's going to be excited.
Asunder starts next week, March 11th, and we shall see you there. All the best. Take care.
All right, so that was a lot. We have a lot to go over. I'm going to be posting a lot of videos today. Maybe I could break it up. I could post some today and then post some tomorrow. But there's so much to take in. I got to try to remember everything. You know, the new emotes, the team emotes, which is amazing. You have the figurines where you can customize your hero and you can buy it. It's crazy. I can make a Uni Raider and get it. Like that's so cool. And they started off with that. We have the Forge rework, which looks really nice. That was probably one of my least favorite maps. That I like Sanctuary Bridge, but I don't know. It's just maybe that could be the next map. But they have the new event, the new weapon sets, the Battle Pass Fest, the Battle Pass weapon sets. Like they didn't show any armor, which maybe I don't know. Maybe we're not getting new armor. It's mostly weapon sets, which I'm okay with. I mean, I definitely want new armor, but yeah, no reveal for the next hero. So after this season coming up, and then it always happens like a couple, maybe like 2 weeks or something before the new season, we'll get some type of tease or reveal trailer. But that was a lot. There's a lot to take in. It's gonna be it's another year of content. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for all coming for the live stream. I know I need to start live streaming more, but this was nice, just hanging out, watching the reveal of year 5. So I'm definitely excited. It's gonna be a great year. So. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you need to rewatch it, it'll be on my page, so that's really nice. Just to have the live stream there. But yeah, go back. There's a lot. The Warden rework, that looks sick. You can flow into Shoulder Bash. You could do flow into anything. It's so nice. It's going to be no more backstep though, and then the testing ground's going to be coming after the event. And then there's like 7 heroes that they're supposedly going to be kind of reworking, and then the new feat for Warden, Thick Blood's gone. Like I said, there's so much, and they said feat update, so maybe they'll be able to, adjust the feats or take some out. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the live stream. Thank you guys for all coming out,